Hello, everyone. Welcome to watching another show of the. And today we're talking with Sean. Hi, Sean.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing well and I'm blessed.
Thank you for having coming to the show.
Yeah,
So
thank you so much for having me.
yeah, and we're gonna go talk about operating your self worth,
Hmm.
which I think is really important topic because I see so many people who have inside negative self-talk, and I'm trying to figure out why, or they don't even try to figure out why they so used to living with it. So I try to make people to pay attention on it and find out that they can change it. It doesn't have to stay that way.
Right. Well, that's a big thing is the part of self-worth is the value that you see in yourself. If you don't feel like you have any self-worth, you need to figure out why that is. And a lot of people are like, well, I'm just not good at anything. Well, how much stuff have you tried? Maybe you're good at something that maybe you're good at knitting a blanket. Like try
Mm-hmm.
everything. What do you like the most? And then dive 100% into that for a moment and see if you actually like it. But there's a difference between self-worth and the value that you deliver. Like self-worth is obviously self, like it's inward, right? And then the value that you deliver outward is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. And so if you're not showing up, if you're not doing what you're supposed to, if you're just kind of haphazardly just bumbling along, you know, you don't have a lot of self-worth, or some people call it self-esteem, but self-worth is basically the value that you see in yourself. And then if you are a business owner, most people will not pay more than the value they see in themselves. So if your coaching program is $5,000 and they don't believe that they are worth $5,000, they're never going to pay the $5,000. So everybody's talking about like you got to get a different audience, you got to raise your prices to meet a certain customer. Like there's some people that they have so much self-worth, they won't pay for anything under 10 grand
Mm-hmm.
because not only do they have the money, they have the self-worth. Like, no, I'm worth more than that. It's a belief system. Your self-worth, all it is a belief system in how you feel about yourself and the value that you deliver outwardly.
Mm-hmm. What is your with the people that you have worked? What is the usually the reason for low self worth? The way I see a lot of, not all of them, but probably, but a lot of them they've have heard negative words towards them as children.
Yep. Yeah, it stems all from children. Now, that's not to say that they didn't maybe they had a great childhood and maybe adult life kicked them in the teeth or something. I mean, you
Okay.
never really know the circumstances, but the majority of people have never really had that person pouring into them. Not only that, they've never really had a support system, period, that pours into them. So they've had to do everything on their own. And they've kind of gotten numb to losing. They've kind of accepted the fact that I'm never going to be a millionaire and I'm going to
Mhm.
have to work this job. And I know I'm destined for more. Like they feel it. There's an intrinsic value that we all have inside. Some people feel it, some people don't. But for those that feel about the way that you should feel when you have a lot of self-worth, and they feel the way that they feel when they're doing something they love, it lights up their world, it lights up their day. They've never really had someone pouring into them. They've always been the one pouring outwards to everybody else. So now they're just pouring from an empty cup, and you can't give from an empty cup. So how do you replenish? How do you pour back into yourself, maybe? Or how do you create a network that pours into you? And they always say that your net worth is equal to your network, and your network is your net worth. So if
Mhm.
you're hanging around a bunch of people that aren't doing really well, you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around the most. So, you're kind of right in the middle of those average people. So
Mhm.
part of increasing self-worth or finding your self-worth is to find your network. Who is your tribe? Your vibe attracts your tribe. And so you have to create the vibe that you want. Who do you want to vibe with? Who do you want to jam with? I love talking to other speakers and just having a jam session. Like a lot of musicians will have jam sessions. Like, let's just jam. Let's just play music. It's the same thing. A bunch of us speakers or business owners get together. Let's just jam. And so what's working for your marketing? Oh, have you tried this? And like, I haven't tried that. Well, tell me more about that. And it's like 3 or 4 of us just getting together and having an amazing conversation for an hour or 2 hours, but we're jamming because we're in our business. That's our jam. I'm talking about speaking. I'm talking about TEDx. I'm talking about podcasting. What's working? What's not working? What's on the horizon? What's up with AI? What's going on with this? Like, we're just jamming. And walk away from the conversation like, man, I unloaded so much stuff that I was carrying. And most of the time, your network is just your soundboard. That's all we really need is someone to listen to our fears, listen to our worries. Even that can increase your self-worth. It's not that I really need somebody to fix my problems. I just need someone to listen, and just reassure me that you got this. Maybe you're a believer. You're a Christian, you got God, you got the support, you got this network, and it's just maybe I just need the reassurance that, I am on the right path and I'm doing the right thing, and it's just that momentary lapse of like, I'm empty. Please, someone fill up my cup. So,
but let's like filling up the cup. And you were saying you were describing when you have all the good people around you, you already figure out how to have good people. But I've noticed a lot of those negative people, instead of trying to get out and trying to get positive people around, they like to stick with negative people who confirm that everything is bad, everything is like world is bad, there's no chances. So they try to have those other negative people so they can feed off of each other.
Yep.
Instead of bringing in positive, and when it's a positive person comes in, they look at that positive person like there's something wrong with that person.
Right, 100%, absolutely. You don't want to hang out with those negative people that are just going to bring us like crabs in a bucket. They're just gonna hold you back. You want people that's going to pour into you. You want people that's going to encourage you. You want people that's going to really pour into and encourage your wildest dreams. I wouldn't call the friend that just says yes to everything. Everybody always has one of those. Doesn't matter what time of night, time of day, whatever. They're like, I'm on board. Let's go. You may not want to call that person all the time, but you want to have someone in your corner that you can just rely on. Your wise man or wise woman, if you want to, your spiritual person, I
want to tell to the viewers, like, if they usually have negative thoughts, I would say that try one positive person first. Might feel uncomfortable in the beginning, but then with the time, you get comfortable and your brain just starts automatically thinking about more positive ways. And then you're going to start attracting yourself to positive people.
Yeah, well, it can. I just think grab like 3 or 4 people that are just like in your tribe and people that you vibe with, just do that. And that's really all you need. Everybody's so concerned with these millions of followers. Like that's great, cool, but like, who's your tribe? There's a lot of masterminds out there, a lot of great masterminds out there. You need to find your tribe, and you can only get so far on your own.
So were you always thinking this way, or how did you change from thinking, having lower self-worth? How did you change? What were your thoughts and process to start thinking positive and strong thoughts? Like, how did you upgrade your self-worth?
There was again, we talked about the like as a child, I had a lot of childhood trauma that I just never dealt with, and a lot of stuff that I just kind of pushed down. Didn't want to talk about it, didn't want to feel it. But that's the thing. You have to honor the circumstance. When you go through something hard, it's not to break you or to poison you or to hold you back. It's literally meant to grow you. So I always tell people, don't just go through something, the divorce or death or failed business or bankruptcy or whatever bad thing you can think of. Don't just go through it, grow from it. Grow from every single, what did you learn? And always ask yourself, here's how you get into an amazing mindset with a lot of self-worth. What's great about this? I do it all the time. I do it every day. Somebody will say something and go, man, that was a really cool opportunity that you had. It could be something positive. There was a really cool opportunity that you had. You get to be on the show this morning. I was like, you know what's great about this? I'm going to get into another audience, and I'm not, who knows who's listening. And I unlock that one thought. I confirm the one thought that they're having, and they go on to build $1 million business, or they go on to live an amazing, healthy life. If someone goes, oh man, like you didn't get the job, or if someone's trying to book me to speak, and I'm like, I really want to speak at this event. Like, here's what they say is like, well, we're going to go into a different direction. I'm like, okay, have fun. Thank you for your consideration, whatever. Like, I'm totally grateful for your time, for taking the time to look at me, whatever. Right. And then I look at it and I say, what's great about this? Well, now I can open myself up to a new event, or, well, now I have, I don't know, time to do whatever I want, or, it's finding it's hunting the good stuff.
Yeah.
And so upgrading your self-worth means you need to hunt the good stuff. Life ain't all sunshine and rainbows. Everybody knows the famous quote from Rocky, from Sylvester Stallone, right? Life's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. It doesn't have to be.
No. You
decide what kind of place it is. You decide how green your grass is. Everybody wants to figure out where all the green grass is. It's right in front of you. It's where you water it. The grass is always greener where you water it, where you fertilize it, where you take care of it. You can drive by a house and see who takes care of their grass. So take care of yours.
Oh, that's true.
That's it. That's all there is to it. Take care of your grass. Fertilize it. Water it. Take the time necessary. Design what it's going to look like. So I told somebody the other day, I said, I look at my life and I say, I'm so glad I don't have to have a job. Like it's just so good to me that I feel so amazed that I don't have to have a job. I spent 20 years in the military. It was a hard fought 20 years, like 7, 8 deployments in and out of the Middle East, all over the world, traveling, but saving money, doing the right things, money management, IRAs. I have a pension that pays me, VA disability. Like I have all the stuff, right? I don't have to have a job. Then I got the speaking gigs that come in, and podcasts, and coaching people for TEDx, and coaching people through their podcast launch, and like all this stuff that I do. I'm very, very, very grateful that I don't have to have a job. But at the same time, I'm very aware that all of this can be taken away at any moment. At any moment, it could all come crashing down. So I just appreciate it. Never take it for granted. And that's a life that you need to design.
And I also think you're not worried about, like, if things crashing down, you have the mindset, it's not going to stay this way.
Right.
You know how to, That's what with me as well. Like when things don't go my way, like you said as well, and it happens. It's a normal thing. Things just don't go your way all the time, but
Right.
you know how to adjust. I call it adjustment. So like anything like this happens, like adjust, like you were the same way you were doing. So okay, how can I turn it? How can I have a positive outcome of this situation? Any situations, like how can I have a positive outcome to whatever happened again?
Yeah. If you need money that bad, you can go drive for Uber or you can go be an Instacart shopper. I mean, if things got really, really bad and you needed money, those are two avenues right there. You could be an Instacart shopper or you could drive for Uber.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm just not overly worried because you have to have the mindset. This is a non-negotiable. You have to have the mindset that life is abundant.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Life is abundant. But like speakers I talk to all the time, like, oh man, I don't know where all the speaking gigs are. Like, where are they? I'm like, they're everywhere. Facebook Live is a stage. We're
Mm-hmm.
on stage right now. We're speaking right now. We are having our own event. People are going to watch this years from now. It's going to be evergreen. It's going to be on YouTube and everywhere. And they're going to hear us. This is a stage that's going to live forever until it gets taken down. This is a stage. I'm speaking today. You know, may not be getting paid, but I'm still speaking. Every time you're a guest on a podcast, you're speaking on stage. Every time you open up your phone and go, okay, here we go, Facebook Live, you know, and you're doing your, you know, your TikTok and stuff right here.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, stage, Facebook Live, stage, LinkedIn Live, stage, YouTube, stage, podcast, stage, my podcast, somebody else's podcast, stage, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I wanted to point out as well, like you were saying, a lot of people think of like if they don't get paid for something, they're not doing it, or they're not doing it. But they don't understand that it's not always money that you get paid with. You get
right.
paid with other things. You get paid for publicity. You get paid for
Yep.
just one connection, or just like one view, or it's like or just experience. You learn something.
Yep.
There's other ways beside that cash money to get paid.
Oh, exactly. Oh, nailed it. There's so many. You get what you put into the world. So if you're putting all kinds of negativity and you're like, oh, I'm such a victim and everything's out to get me and I'm never going to get ahead and I'm never going to be a millionaire. How come she, everything she touches turns to gold and she just gets $1 million? And you see all these influencers online, right? You look at social media and you're like, oh, I want that house. Or who even says that's their house? Who even says they make that money? Who even said, like, I can go into, like, I may have a relative that has a very big house and a very, very nice house. And I might go in there and go, look at me, look at me, look at me. You know, when I see people showboating online, I turn the other way. I'm like, it's probably all fake. Like, I just assume it's probably all fake. It's probably not, because I know I have a couple like legit millionaire friends that I hang out with, like legit. They don't do that stuff. They don't take pictures in front of their cars or their plane or their house. Or, I mean, they're just giving value.
Yeah.
Hey, here's what I learned with this AI. Here's what I learned on YouTube. Here's what I learned with podcasts. Here's what I'm doing speaking. Hey, I'm in Cancun, Mexico. Here's how you can design a life you want. Like, it's not like, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. It's the value that I can give. How can I give? How can I give? How can I give?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that for me is the top criteria. When I look at an influencer, when I look at somebody who has a lot of self-worth, it's, what am I giving? How can I give? How can I give? How can I give? They're a servant leader, number one. And I'm like, that, they're legit right there. They're legit.
Mm-hmm. I think that is the way for like upgrading your self-worth. If you're looking at like, what can you give to the world? If you figure out what can you give to the world, that is already you building your self-worth, and you just start doing. Also take action. So you have to take action after that to figure out what you can do, and then you just take action.
Oh yeah, you have to execute. Absolutely, you have to take action. You know, I'm the vice president of a nonprofit called One Life Fully Lived. We dream, plan, and then live our most epic, adventurous lives.
Mm-hmm.
Create a bucket list. The first thing we do, create a bucket list. What's your vision?
Mm-hmm.
Create a vision for your one life. We get one life. We get one life. How are you going to dream, then plan, and then live your most epic, adventurous life? Figure that part out. There's so much to see in this world. There's so much to do in this world. Make a list. Make a list of the things. This is the bucket list. I got to do all this stuff. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to live my life. I designed my life to where I can wake up and not have all of this stress and all of this worry. And most people pull worry from the next day, and they're worried about stuff that hasn't even happened yet. Oh, what if they say no? Oh gosh, what if I put myself out there to speak at this one event, or what? And they say no. Oh, I'll be humiliated. Who's gonna know? Unless you tell people, like, who's gonna know? Mm-hmm. You're gonna know. You're gonna feel it. But honor that moment. Okay, I gotta know. No means next opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So and what's great about this?
And you can get through it. You just have to, but you have to kind of train. I remember when it was like, you got stuck a little bit there, but I had to like adjust my mind and work with my thoughts to make sure that I'm not going to dwell on it. Like now I don't dwell on it even like maybe I'll let myself a few minutes to dwell on it.
Right.
That's maximum.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go right after like, okay, that happened. That's in the past. Now what are we going to do?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Give yourself an opportunity to feel it. Always, always. If something bad happens, feel it. Acknowledge it for what it is. You go through a divorce, acknowledge I was married. I had a few happy years. I mean, if it's all bad, like it's all bad. But again, you still have to honor like what it was. Like, that's a chapter of your life. If you lose a job, if there's a death in the family, it's all about celebration. That's the difference. Are you going to mourn your life, or are you going to celebrate your life? So again, just feel and just be. A lot of us aren't human beings. We're just a bunch of human doings. We're just doing stuff all the time, but like, are we really present? Mm-hmm. There's always this. You talk to 50 different influencers and they'll say, oh, it's all about human doing, man. You got a human do. Mm-hmm. What about being? Why don't we just be human? Why don't we just be in the moment? Be present. Be accountable. Feel. Just take a step back. Just take a second. Take a second and just feel where you are in life. If it feels great, pat yourself on the back. Job well done. You designed a great life. If it's uncomfortable and you're like, I hate this life, then today's the day. Today is the day that you make a change. Today is the day that you say, this is not how my story ends. So you make the decision today. Make the decision today that I'm going to do something different. I'm going to design a life. How do I do it? How do I finance it? What relationships do I need? What steps do I take? And that's it. What relationships do I need? How do I finance it? What are the next steps? That's it.
Mm-hmm. We're going to start getting close to the end, but I want you to tell like maybe 3 things or something like this with people's thoughts. What kind of thoughts should they develop or change to have in their mind to upgrade?
Gratitude. Count 3 blessings a day. Morning, noon, and night. You can do it all 3 at the end of the day. You can put them on social media. Blessing number 1 today, I'm grateful for this. Blessing number 2, blessing number 3. You put it on social media and put gratitude challenge.
Mm-hmm.
What are you grateful for? And just past gratitude. Gratitude has been scientifically linked to lowering your anxiety, stress, and depression.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep. Second one.
Second one is always say, what's great about this? When something bad happens, what's great about this? We got in a car accident. The car is totaled. What's great about this? Every single person walked away and we're all alive. Nobody died.
Mm-hmm.
What's great about this? You know, that car was about 5 or 6 years old anyways. Started having a little bit of engine problems. Maybe it's time for an upgrade. Maybe we deserve an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe what's great about this is, you know, we got, you know, there was a car accident and someone hit us and everybody's okay. But we weren't really sure where we were going was where we wanted to be. You know, we had this one event. We were like, I don't know, like maybe I don't want to go. And we're like, I don't know if we really need to be there. Like, you know, you're searching for a reason to like back out, but you don't really want to back out, you know, and then universe happens. Boom, car accident. You're like, oh, sweet. Okay. We didn't really want to go to this thing anyways. You know, we're not missing anything, you know, maybe that's in the cards, but what's great about this? That's number 2. And then number 3 is celebrate, acknowledge and celebrate.
I love that. I love celebrating.
When you get a win, celebrate it. Tell the world, tell everybody, tell anybody who will listen. I got a promotion at work. Or I got this one speaking engagement. I've done 3 TEDx talks. You bet I was calling everybody like, dude, I just got a TEDx talk. Like, how cool is that? It's not a humble brag. It's not a, you know, whatever. It's like, dude, I just want to celebrate something. Like, this is an amazing accomplishment. You know, I got my 3rd TEDx talk, whatever. They're like, dude, that's awesome. Like, thank you, man. Like, I really appreciate that. I just wanted to share some news with people. You know, I'm getting TEDx. I'm going here. This is what I'm doing. I'm really excited. I just wanted to share some excitement, you know? And then, of course, I always ask, what do you want to celebrate today? Well, I don't really have anything to celebrate. Yeah, you do. You got air in your lungs. So acknowledge and celebrate. So 3 things: gratitude. Always say what's great about this when something bad happens. What's great, even good things, good and bad, doesn't matter. Every day, what's great about this? And 3rd thing, acknowledge and celebrate.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Great advice. Well, Sean, for the viewers, the links for Sean is in descriptions if you want to contact Sean. But what is it that you will tell people to contact you about?
What should they contact me about?
Yeah.
If they want to speak at a TEDx event, I will work with you and get you booked for a TEDx. If you want to launch a podcast, I will launch your podcast in less than 8 weeks. If you want to get more into the media, if you want to get booked on podcasts and stages, and you want, if you have a message you want to get out to the world, but you're not sure how, that's what I do. We're going to position you in the marketplace so that you become the subject matter expert with credibility and authority, and you can command those stages and those podcasts and those media opportunities, and you can make a direct impact into the world.
Mm-hmm. Great. And also, because I'm also a happiness expert, so I always ask my guests, what is happiness for you? Not what other people think what happiness is, not the mainstream happiness, but just for you, Sean. What is happiness means for you?
Happiness for me is when you are calm and you are smiling and it feels like bliss, when it feels like you are just completely in alignment from head to toe, from head to heart. When you are in complete alignment, that feeling that I am right where I'm supposed to be, that's happiness.
I love it. Love it. Perfect. Yeah. So thank you so much. I think we got all the value for our viewers. Let us know in the comments what value you got out of the conversation, and start living your life. So start thinking about yourself however you feel that you want to think about yourself, but level it up. Think even better than you think that you were. Think even a little bit even better.
Love that. Good message.
Yeah. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm. Bye, everyone.